Hello everyone. The times are tough and we all are battling with loss, death, pain, fear, and uncertainty. I am Debidutta and today I bring a healing story for you all. What are healing stories? Stories that help us to pause, reflect, and heal and move on. So here I bring a story from the folklore of Saudi Arabia, and I heard this story from one of my favorite storyteller, Jane Blake. So here I go. Long, long ago, a camel driver was taking his caravan of beautiful camels from his hometown to Baghdad through a small village. And as he moved on, he saw a walled orchard. And he knew it was an orchard because a branch was hanging over the wall and he could see three ripe peaches, sweet, juicy, and succulent. One of the peach skin had splitted and the nectar was dripping to the ground, and the ants had gathered and were consuming it. Seeing that, suddenly he was gripped with envious feeling. He was envious of that orchard owner. How lucky this man is. He doesn't have to travel like me for days together, all alone, leaving the comfort of and the warmth of a home, of a loving wife, to bear all the challenges of changing seasons and be on the road for days together. How lucky is he? And as the caravan moved on, the gates were open, the orchard owner could see the beautiful caravan passing, and he thought, oh, how lucky is that man? He can travel from places to places, meeting different people, knowing different culture, different place. Oh, how lucky is he? And I am rooted to just one place. And as they both thought, the leading camel, or the first camel, saw those peaches and he stretched his neck, broke off the branch, and started consuming all the three peaches. Seeing this, the orchard owner was gripped with fury. Hey! And he picked up the stone and flung it at the camel. The stone struck the temple of the camel and he fell dead. Seeing that, camel driver was dumbfounded. He could not take it. His leading camel, his best camel, his favorite camel was dead. He too was gripped with fury, took up the stone and launched it back to the orchard owner. The orchard owner tried saving himself, but he was not that fast, not fast enough. The stone struck his temple and he was dead. A dead camel is different and a dead man is entirely different. He was gripped with fear. He looked here and there and went ahead to cut the rope from the first camel to the second camel to lead his caravan from that place and go. But the sons of the orchard owner had seen him. They shouted, "You murderer, can't you go like that?" And they ran and caught hold of him. The commotion had gathered a huge crowd and they asked, "Sons, where are you taking this man?" They said, "We are taking him to the house of the judge." They went to the house of the judge. The judge came and asked, "What's the matter?" The son said, "He killed our father for nothing, and we are not settled with anything else except for his life. We want his life today itself." The judge asked the camel driver, "Is it true? Is it what they are saying? Have you murdered their father?" He knelt down and pleaded the judge, "Oh judge, There was no such intention. It was just an accident. His father had killed my best camel, and out of fury, I just launched a stone that unfortunately killed their father. I have this bag of gold. He produced the blood money. He said, I am willing to give this blood money for the exchange of the life of their father. The son said, no, we don't accept that blood money. No blood money. We just want blood. Life for life. The judge said, I'm helpless. I have nothing to say because they are not settling for the bag of gold. And you have to give your life, my friend. He called the executioner. The executioner came, rolled the sheets of the ship's rug and said, make a prayer, say your last prayer, make peace with your maker. He knelt down. He was nervous. He could not think of anything, but he started praying. He saw to the right and then to the left, and he saw the angels and said, wait, I'm the condemned man, am I not? The judge said, yes, you are a condemned man. And a condemned man has a last right, have a right to say his last wish, to fulfill his last wish. The judge said, yes, you have that right. The camel driver said, I want to go to home for 3 days and 3 nights. The judge laughed. This is the first kind of last wish I'm hearing from a condemned man. How can I let you go? And how can I trust that you would come back after 3 days and 3 nights? He said, you have to trust. That's my last wish. The judge said, okay, if anyone out here in the crowd is willing to take your place for 3 days and 3 nights, and if you don't come back, he's ready to give his life for you, then I am okay and I can let you go. He went ahead and asked the crowd, is anyone here among the good people willing to take my place? The crowd laughed. What a foolish man. A stranger came to our land, killed one of us, you murderer, asking one of us to take your place? Are we that fool? Die. Accept your fate. But there was one voice that screeched the crowd, I will take your place, my son. And everybody looked around, turned back and saw a voice at the very back. Said, I'm ready to take his place. And elbowing everyone, he made his way through the crowd and reached before the judge. The judge said, old man, hope you understand. If he does not return back, then your life is forfeited. He said, yes, I do. The camel driver was given a camel. He jumped off the camel and in no time, he was gone. The old man's hand was bound and he was taken to the dungeon. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. 3 days passed. The words have spread wide and far. A huge crowd had gathered on 4th morning, and there was no sign of camel driver. The judge again asked for the executioner. The executioner rolled the rug of sheepskin and said, my dear friend, make your last prayer and be ready. The old man kneeled down, and he said his prayer. And for a moment he felt his life was nothing. And then his life was everything. And he was at peace. He said, I am ready, and said to the executioner, strike hard, strike true, and I am gone in an instant. And when the executioner rested his sword and he raised it high to strike, and there was a shout from the back, stop! There's a huge cloud of dust, a storm, someone is galloping towards this house of court. Wait! And a man was galloping fast towards the house of the court. His face was veiled with a cloth in order to save himself from the dust storm, and he straight away got off from the camel, picked up this old man from his elbow and said, "I'm sorry, I was a bit late, and sorry for whatever distress I caused you." And he said, "I'm sorry I'm late, but I'm ready, and I'm ready to give up my life." The judge said, "Wait, what happened? Where were you? And why did you go?" The man said, the camel driver said, "I had the jewels of an old widow. And if I would have died here, I would have got the name of a thief. People would have addressed me as a thief, and so do my son and his 7 generations. And my 7 generation would have been known as a thief. I did not want that. So I went back, gave her all her jewels, said a final goodbye to my wife and my son. But my son was not leaving me. He clung to me, and I waited till he slept. And then I said a final goodbye, and I jumped off the camel, and I came as fast as I could." The judge said, "Okay." And then he again kneeled and said, "The executioner, you can take my life. I'm ready to go." The judge said, "Wait." And he asked the old man, "What made you offer your life to a stranger, to a murderer?" The old man said, "I was raised in a time where people knew and honored for man's word. Man's word was everything. Man's word was his honor, and I chose to believe that. And if he would not have come and I would have to give my life, I would have preferred that, because then I would not like to live in a world where what I have learned does not exist anymore or is not valued anymore." The judge said, "Impressive. Okay." And he said, "Now hear my judgment. A true judgment comes where there is compassion and mercy. And today I pass on the judgment. No heads will be rolled. There will be no bloodbath. No blood will be spilled." And he looked at these sons and said, "You have to accept that bag of gold for the life of your father. Will you accept it?" They said, "Yes." And the judge said, "Now that let's go to the house, drink some wine, eat some food, and weigh some gold." And that's the end of the story. So at times, things comes that we have never expected in our wildest imagination. They come, they shake us up. What we have to do is to be honest with ourselves, with our values. Let it come and let it go. Thank you all.